try. I'm alive, and I'll show you why. I'm alive, I'm so alive, I'm alive.
Hello, I'm Mark Wilson, I'm here with the Scotsman, and I'm here with Zac from Next to Normal.
Hello.
Zac, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Zac McGuire. I am a Glaswegian actor, and yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So you were performing in Bear Productions' production of Next to Normal at the Edinburgh Fringe. Tell me about the show.
Yeah, Next to Normal is a rock show about grief, loss, some great comedic moments, but it's a heartfelt story about a family, a very dysfunctional one. They struggle day to day with their mother, who suffers from bipolar, and the loss of her child, our first child. It's for me, when you look at the show and you look at it from an outside perspective, I don't think you grasp the weight of it until you step into it, or you would see it live. Because it's okay listening to soundtracks and stuff, but a lot of the grit and a lot of the meat of the show is, you know, in between songs and the silence, which you don't really get in the cast recordings and the media that you consume and watch. So I'm so excited to kind of step into the role
And speaking of the role, you play Gabe.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to like give too many details away.
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about Gabe?
Yeah,
He's a very important character within the plot of the show. But
I would say that he's rather mischievous, but a deeply caring soul, and really young at heart. I will say. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fair. Obviously, we've sort of mentioned it. I've spoken to Rakai, spoken to Greg, and obviously everyone sort of spoke about like the deep sort of themes of the show.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you think you've learned throughout the process, if you can answer that question?
Yeah, I think it's being comfortable. I've never connected with people like the way I've connected with Rakai, and Greg and Kelsey, just the way I have and through the process. It's been it's been next to normal. Like that is horrific, but
that's
like
the only way to describe it.
Yeah, it's brand new for me, and I feel like that's something that has really affected me, and it's changed my trajectory as an actor.
Oh, really?
I would say, yeah, because I didn't know that I could connect with a piece so purely. I would say, and the incredible writing makes it so easy to connect with, I would say, as well.
Yeah, that's like a big thing. It's like sometimes as an actor it is a gift to have, like obviously I think the standard sort of question fair for these things is, is it difficult to bare your soul like that? But obviously the script is so strong, it won a Pulitzer Prize, which is the highest award that a piece of theatre can get. So it must be such a gift to perform a piece like this.
It really is, and to have such a safe kind of environment and room that Dom's creating, and the whole cast are bringing. There's so much safety and there's so much finding like comfort, and you know what, honestly the most important thing is finding levity where you need to, because it's super intense, and like when you get off stage and you're drowned in tears and like you have to find the way to pick yourself back up and continue on with the show, and it's just we find great times to just, you know, deflate and then re-inflate, and it's just, it's nice.
Yeah, I always find that such like a surprising thing, that like I think a lot of people assume that when you speak to actors, if you perform a piece like Next to Normal, which has these grieving characters going through these big sort of life-changing moments, they do think that we have this idea in our minds of like method acting, where it's like you'll feel sad all the time. But I often find, I've spoken to Brooke, I've spoken to Greg, I've spoken to yourself, I sometimes it's the opposite. Like because you get all that grief out, it's like you feel so much joy for life, sort of thing, in a way. Yeah,
and like, don't get me wrong, the cast have given me a new lease on life. They're amazing people, but it is that sort of thing where you appreciate the every breath you take and every step in the gravel. It's such a weird kind of feeling. Like it gives you a greater appreciation for everything. It's so nice.
Amazing. And obviously Dom, the director of the show, was telling me that you guys are working closely with Bipolar Scotland, and it's Held in Our Hearts,
yes,
the sort of the charities. Can you tell me both tell me about those both, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, Dom, they've done an incredible job in like getting like us to work collaboratively with these charities. I mostly spoke to Heather from Held in Our Hearts. She's incredible. She really bared her soul in terms of, you know, her loss of her child, and everything that she kind of spoke to us about, like I took and basically used it in my process. And she would tell me that, you know, she saw her daughter, and she still like thinks of her daughter as many different ages. Even though she lost her daughter very young, like she would be 30 now, and she sees her other daughters growing up, and she always wonders what that kid would be like. And it was heartbreaking to hear about, but it was so influential to the way that I built everything. The girls that Held in Our Hearts were just absolutely incredible. The girls at Bipolar Scotland as well, like wow, just some seriously, the rooms were so truthful, and how like the good, the bad and the ugly, and the euphoric highs, and you know the miserable lows, like they really got into the grits, and you can really see that these charities have changed these women's lives and these families. Like I don't know, you can really see the impact that the charities have had, and it's so nice because you hear stories about charities, and you hear stories about bereaved mothers and families that deal with members that are like suffering from bipolar, or that are currently dealing with it, and it's just so difficult to, I don't know, I feel like it can be a very lonely process for families, and to have charities, it's so important to go and to speak and to inform other people as well. I think that's a really important thing, because I did not have a clue, so it was a very informative experience for me.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously sort of a complete sort of 180 in terms of topic. Obviously you're sort of Glasgow boy, but you were telling me before this interview this is your first performance at the Edinburgh Fringe. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've been to the Fringe a couple of times before in the past. My first Fringe show that I ever saw was actually 6 when it was being workshopped.
I saw that as well.
Did you? That's insane.
It was one of those, not to take over the interview for a minute, but my girlfriend, Jo, we were sort of talking about before the interview, she sort of phoned me one day. It was like a Monday, sort of like the last day of the Fringe. I just happened to sort of have it off, and she'd seen it on the Sunday, and there was one more performance, and she was like, you have to see this musical. She was like, do anything you can. So I bought like the last ticket to the last day, and it was life-changing. It was amazing. Yeah,
I mean, the girls that they had were absolutely immense.
Yeah, the talent was
they were
outrageous.
Immense, and you know, I remember seeing it in that little black box room, and
sorry, I saw the one at the Udderbelly. So you seen the one the year before, the prom. So you were there and day zero. Exactly. Yeah.
Honestly, it was incredible. The talent was through the roof. The writing, obviously, like heavily inspired by today's pop artists and R&B singers. Honestly, I was just, when I saw it, I was over the moon. And yeah, that was like the most kind of influential kind of, because you see how these things kind of develop through the Fringe, and you know, it's so interesting. But I'm just so excited to be there, and to be in Edinburgh this summer, because in this kind of this fall. I was going to say this fall. I'm too used to being in that American accent right now that I was just about to say this fall. But yeah,
no, August is
I'm
still
so
summer.
excited.
I think it's like the tail end of the summer.
Yeah, I'm so chuffed to be involved this year. I'm absolutely buzzing.
Oh, amazing. And then last but not least, for those that are still undecided, tell everyone at home why they should see Next to Normal, when and where it's on.
We are on at Paradise Green in St Augustine's. You should come and see it, because the cast is bloody stacked. Not to get too Glaswegian on yous. Yeah. What was your other question?
No, that was it. Just where it's on and why people should see it.
Yeah, bring hankies.
Yeah, everyone said that. Bring tissues.
Bring tissues. Yeah, thank you so much.